If you make the party invite only, you can. You've got the option to include your audio, just double checking. Oops. Make sure you include your audio, by the way. Cool. Right. Hello, and welcome back to F1 League of South Africa. We're now into the second half of the season as we're going to be racing around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium. We're back for Tier 1 after it turned out to be an anticlimactic race last time out in Spain. As we were just kind of all waiting on the rain, it just didn't arrive in the end, and that basically meant that was it Britain? It was Britain, yeah, my bad. Which basically meant France extended his lead at the top of the championship. And Quagga Roberts is making strides towards that championship fight out front. I'm joined by Fizz today. And if we sound a lot different, we are very, very ill.
He's a bit more... Oh, shit. Now, actually remember to go on Spectator this time. What start that is.
Woo.
Unfortunately, I do not get to line up at the back of the grid.
Yeah, that's true. As we load into the lobby, we've got a couple of facts. Every race has had a different driver of the day, so I feel like that's quite a cool one. So if we keep that going, then hopefully we got someone else just putting in a great performance. And we got rain!
Yeah. We did curse it, in fact. Me and Harry did 2 practice races before this just to get to grips with the track, just so we're not talking out of our arse. And both races were wet, so clearly the weather comes with us, but it's not sunny.
I don't know what they're on the softs though, so maybe they've got to go out quickly. Like, it also sets the softs, so this could be a very interesting. And it could be a very anticlimactic qualifying, as all the action gets done in the first part, as we're going to see everyone run out onto track.
But problem could be that if you go out on the softs and it starts to get more wet while you're out there, then you're actually missing out on the greatest time to be on those inters.
Well, that's exactly right.
But first across the line is definitely going to be going a lot faster, which could mean we could have a very, very shocking grid as we see the first 3 out being Andre Meltz, Elo, Snotcock.
I hate to say it, it does look quite wet, and it is coming down at quite a rate, so this could be first across the line gets pole, and that is a very interesting situation. Trey has decided to go to the inters. He isn't out on track yet. He's ditched that idea. So maybe it's just about getting who gets the lap time in first. And if you're LSA Andre right now, being in that Williams at the end of the pit lane, it's going to come in clutch for you right now.
I mean, obviously, we can't see the weather from here, but it could be drying out, seeing as some people are opted to stay in the pits.
Yeah, that's very true. We've got a slow Red Bull going up Eau Rouge. I believe that is Lenny, who retired on track. He must have crashed. So conditions are difficult out there. But the man to watch out for on this lap is Andre, because Fori set the inters. So it's a very interesting dynamic. We don't really know what's going to happen here. And obviously, this league does provide the shocks. Anything can happen in F1 League of South Africa. Could we see LSA Andre get pole? We're bigging it up, and Fori has decided to go and put the inters on. So that is very interesting.
I mean, conflicting strategy in qualifying. Last time someone tried that, it was Lance Stroll, and didn't go too well for him, but
It was the opposite way around, wasn't it? He just went on the softs too early.
mediums actually, because we love the FIA.
Oh, no, yeah, because it was a sprint weekend, wasn't it? Yeah.
Andre so far this lap is being very cautious. I mean, you can tell the conditions. It must feel like a bit of an ice rink, but you can see at corners a dry line is starting to form.
It all depends how hard it rains and how. Obviously, it's raining at a sort of. It's light rain, but it is making the track a little bit slippery. So this could be a very interesting qualifying session, and we wanted some rain. We got some rain, so
I don't think the drivers wanted some rain.
no. But entertainment-wise, this could be one of the best qualifying sessions we have. We don't really know how this is going to go. One thing we do know is that Big T and Lenny are out. Big T having a qualifying ban and Lenny crashing up Eau Rouge.
We will get a good grasp of how bad the track actually is with Fori now, who's about to start his lap on the intermediate tyres.
Yeah, so I don't really know what is faster. There's a slow McLaren. I believe that is Melt going out of. I think that's Beau Rivage. No, that's Stavolo. Sorry, my bad. That's Stavolo. So Andre to the line. He's going to be the one to set the first time. It's a 151.2, and that kind of suggests that it's intermediate conditions right now. There's a 48.9 there for Elo wide. It's really close. I don't.
I mean, it possibly just shows that drivers are just sending it as they're willing to. As a 31 flat in the first sector.
Something important to note is that Afrodox, who's just going by Afro at the moment, in 12th on 13th now, has invalidated on his softs. So that could play a major factor. GSL Wee's only going second. So I believe the track is getting a lot more wet, as we can see by the cloud cover, because it was a little bit brighter at the start.
First sector was actually faster than Elo's, but it was 2 tenths slower than Wee's.
Has Fori made the right call then? Because if he has, oh look, it's raining loads now. Look at it. It is raining significantly more. Elo Wide could find himself on an unlikely pole position here, but Fori is going very fast through the middle sector.
Fori with a 48.8 in the middle. Elo set a 48.3. So clearly, possibly not the correct call at the end of the day. I mean, yes. You'd assume he's fueled to do a few laps here. But I think the laps are going to put him quite high up.
But 5th. So, Fori's pace, we know he's got a lot. That would suggest that it's about the crossover, actually. Because the 4 cars ahead of him have usually been ahead of him in qualifying, so they put the lap in early. This could be a shocker for Franz, because look how much it is raining now, Finn.
I mean, but it's Franz. Simple as. If anybody could sail for a perfectly wet track on the slick tyres and set a pole position lap, it is Franz.
Yeah. It's a shame Humid's not in this league anymore. Well, doesn't race in here anymore. Because you think with his name it'd be very perfect conditions for him. And he's obviously one of the quickest drivers that we've seen in this league.
Franz has gone absolutely skating through turn 1.
This could be qualifying over then for Franz, because it is extremely wet out there now. It's definitely intermediate conditions. I think everyone who went out straight away will be very happy, because now we've got a very mixed up grid, and Afrodox invalidating has ruined them. As we take a little bit of a look of the new Ferrari livery, sported by Quagga Roberts today.
7 tenths down in the first sector from Franz.
Yeah, it shows the track, doesn't it? At the moment, Elo Wyatt is on top. Ahead of Quagga Roberts, then GSR Weeze, then Cheddar, Forey, Stockcop, and the 6th. Good. Stockcop will be very happy with that. Andre in 7th, Night Scout in 8th, Venom Terror in 9th. Those are the people who set lap. Forey's improved up to 2nd.
Possibly, just with a slightly more comfortable track, he's able to get these laps on the board. He has not got the fuel for another one. I think he pushed his luck setting that one as is.
So, we thought, well, I thought, with the conditions becoming a lot worse, qualifying was over, but clearly there's still some pace to be found out there. Elo Wyatt will be sitting comfortable right now, but not as comfortable as he was, say, 3 minutes ago. Oh, straight on Forey!
Wow, that is... It's clearly time for the Inters. That is a very, very slow lap from France.
Yeah, for his standards as well.
Trey has actually gone faster than Forey on the soft compounded tyre.
Wow. It's all about confidence then, isn't it? Who knows what can happen in this qualifying session.
GSR has gone out on the Inters now, so he clearly believes that Forey had the correct idea.
This is one of the weirdest qualifying sessions we've had so far. Purely because
the conditions are holding on quite nicely. You know, rain might be harder, but cars going around the track is just keeping it dry enough.
Well, so I think we're going to see a lot of drivers come in now for the intermediates. I think Forey called it just wrong, actually, all things considered. I have a feeling if he went on the softs at the start there, Melts goes to pole.
Clearly the track has still got something to play at.
That could end up being the pole lap time here. Melts going with 48.6, and that is quite comfortably on pole right now. So, wow. Melts out of nowhere. We expected that from Franz. We got it from his teammate. And obviously Melts, after the Imola race where he thought he won it at the end of the day because of after everything kind of breaking, he thought he had it. Went away with his teammate, but he still got on the podium. But who wanted to find a little bit of redemption here, and he's currently put it on provisional pole.
Weeze, it says he is set a purple sector 1 with a 30.7.
Oh, there's a wobble there though. The Weeze.
It was 1/10 foot on Melts currently.
He looks like he's struggling though. So, we'll see. Looking at the time trial, we expected them to be in the 41s for a dry lap time. Well, some of them, not all of them, but to be in the 41s. Didn't expect us to be thinking a 48.6 was going to be a pole lap time today. But it is what it is. Someone's popped up. Afrodoc's gone to 3rd. So there is still a little bit of time to be found. But Melts
is fighting
seems
that
to be
car.
found the most.
A 19.1 into the final sector. A 48.4. So he is improving with a 48.45 middle. That puts him slightly below. He really could have a fight for pole here as he comes up to the line.
GSR Weeze then, after the bus stop chicane, bit of a wobble there. He does go up to 2nd place. He get a lot through there.
I feel like there was a couple of wobbles throughout that lap that just cost him that.
So we've hit a situation where the slicks are as good as the intermediates. But has Melts set his time early enough to put him on pole? I feel like this would be one of the perfect times to check in with the Twitch chat.
This qualifying session is just curveball after curveball, isn't it?
So, who will take pole here in Spa? And I tell you honest, before the start of the day, I did not think it would be Melt, and he is currently the man on provisional pole. But it's still raining, but it's still very questionable whether it is wet enough. This might all come down to the final runs. It will come down all to the final runs because we don't know what the track conditions are like. It looks like it's a lot lighter rain than it was earlier on, but who knows? Will we see an unlikely pole position here from Melt in the McLaren? His teammate has got the better of him all throughout the season so far, but as we look down the order, Andre is going slowly, but Venom Terror into the pits. He was up on his lap time, to be fair, Venom Terror, by quite a significant margin. So, Boomroker decided to come out into the intermediates. He's invalidated his lap. So next across the line will be Cheddar. Where can he go and put his Haas car? We've seen him have pace in recent weeks. Through the bus stop chicane. He's decided to opt for the slicks, but he's decided to opt into the pits now. So, a lot of people waiting for that right time. Or it's just too wet.
But in these conditions, the question is, do you have confidence?
Exactly.
Wheeze has improved ever so slightly on his first sector time by 4 thousandths of a second. Is Elo wired?
To pole on his
significantly. And what time was that on? On the soft?
That was a soft. That was a soft. So I think it's just quickly switched. So this could be last man across the line gets pole.
Wheeze is invalidated.
Snotcop is up on his lap time. Last time I looked, he was 6/10 up. He's currently on 50.8. He could easily go into the top 5 here if he gets good enough improvement. He stays in 10th. So, next will be Night Scout, who's also up on his lap time. He'll be looking to go into the 150s. The Aston Martin driver. To the line, he does go into the 150s. It's a 150.8. So, lap times are falling out here. But will they fall for Fori, who's 7.5 tenths up on his lap time? This time he's gone for the soft. He was the pace set on the intermediates earlier on. He's gone second fastest. Wow. Who's going to get pole in this crazy session?
Well, Wheeze is coming to the pit, and if he gets a very, very quick turnaround, he may be able to set a lap, but I think that could be Wheeze's session over.
And it'll be a shocker as well, because the track is improving. Clearly, by the lap times of Elo Wide and Fori, Franz is about to start an out lap, but we're going to go to TJ, who's also starting. He's just started a lap. And Elo Wide into the gravel. That is Boomroker. He is currently down in dead last. He'll get enough time to come round, but he's on the intermediates. TJ will be wanting to at least get a lap on the board. And this could be it for Andre. Andre will not get around to set out a lap, so that's a minimum of P11 for him. Snotcop is up on his time, I believe. Can Snotcop improve on his 50.0? We'll soon find out. Into the bus stop chicane. Does he get it slowed down enough? Yes, he does. Does he get the apex? No, he's going to abort and come into the pits. That's qualifying over for Snotcop. Franz is only just up.
Franz is completely drifted. Franz has completely drifted a corner. That is his lap ruined. I do not think he's going to be able to put anything competitive in here.
This could... Fori is also miles down on his lap time. Elo Wide is into the pits. This is going to be... GSR Weeze is done. GSR Weeze can't get across the line. One person who will get across the line to start a lap is Afrodox. So Afrodox is still in this fight. So is Trey. So is Quagga Roborex, who's only just down. Franz, what can he do through the middle sector in the McLaren? His teammate is currently up in 3rd. This is probably going to be one of his best days. Franz is down.
1 seconds down.
This has been an awful qualifying for Franz so far. But we're going to go to TJ, who's about to finish a lap. He's going into... Oh, he's invalidated. So we'll ignore that. Venom Terror. His teammate Cheddar starting a lap, so he did just get across. So this is where pole can be won by a lot of drivers here. Night Scout is on a lap, but he's going very, very slowly. What about the Williams of Andre? Does he get across the line to start a lap? He does, just. And now I mean
Corey,
just.
purple.
Corey is purple, 1.5 tenths up. But one person we do need to look out for here is Quagga Robert, who will be next across the line, but he is down on his lap time. So a lot of drivers not finding the confidence, and I think Quagga Roberts has made the wrong call because he went to the intermediate tyre. But can he find anything through the final corner for the Ferrari with the new yellow accent? Quagga Roberts the line, he does find a position, he goes up to 6th. One person we do need to look at is Trey. Wheeze is done, so it is Trey that's going to be next, who's up by nearly a second. And that would put him in brilliant contention for pole. Through the final corner then for the Alfa Romeo driver. Trey to the line. What can he do? He goes to pole.
Oh my god!
Trey has stolen pole
Meltz
away.
has crashed. Meltz has crashed on the way to the grid. Way to the line, sorry.
Trey has gone to pole. What about Fori? He's the only one who could really snatch this away. And don't forget Afrodox to the line. He's only gone to second. What about...
By less than 100.
What about Fori? Is he enough up? He's got to find so much time through this final corner. Can Fori go and snatch pole away from Trey? Which would be a brilliant pole if he can. Fori only 3rd.
Oh!
Franz is up, but he's invalidated. Cheddar to the line. Oh, he's up on his lap time by 1.1 seconds. Cheddar's not out of this, you know. He could find something in the final sector. Cheddar to the line. What can he do? Cheddar goes to 3rd.
Oh,
and that
my
is a
God.
brilliant qualifying session. And it's Trey who gets it on pole.
Never fails to excite this place.
Wow. I can't... That qualifying session was all over the place, but Trey was the one who got the lap time in the end. Don't forget
Not the
TJ,
Alfa Romeo we thought was going to be on pole.
No, his teammate is down in 7th, but it's the people who made the call to go onto the softs right at the end who are the ones that gained massively. Trey on pole ahead of Afrodox and Cheddar, Fori and Elo wide. Weeze and Quagga Roberts made the wrong call, and you have to think if they went onto the slicks, they would have been in a brilliant chance to go for pole here.
Oh,
Franz
100%.
only 9th for him. That'll be a bit unlucky for Franz, but I wouldn't even say unlucky. He made the right call at the end. It's just he didn't get the lap time on. That he is down there on the 5th row with Venom Terror. So Snotcop in 11th, Andre 12th. What a qualifying! I don't quite know how to resurrect that.
I don't... What do you even say to describe that? Just... random. I mean, you look at the session, they're only 7 tenths off on the inters. Now, do you think if someone did stick it on the inters, possibly it could have had the pace? You never know. 9 thousandths of a second to side pole.
That's the closest. That is factually the closest qualifying we've had in F1 League of South Africa history. 9,000 separate Trey and Afrodox. And how it's only 9,000, I'll never know, because it was such a mixed up qualifying. But Trey is on pole ahead of Afrodox, and Cheddar and Fori, wide. Melt, who was on pole, we thought he had it for a bit, but then the track dried out just enough for people to improve. Wheeze in 7th, then Quagga Roberts, Franz, and Venom Terror round out the top 10. Snotcop, Andre, and Night Scout were the only others to get a lap time on.
Well, this just possibly shows that the driver's lower down, and it's a wet race.
We've got a wet race, people. This is brilliant. And we're starting on the inters.
It just possibly shows that the people at the back of the constructors and drivers just have less to lose if they have a bad qualifying.
Exactly. Franz has lost a lot there, I think.
Franz disconnected. LSA. Andre's disconnected. Have we got a lobby reset? Or have I disconnected?
Oh, it's the same as happening for me as well. Settings are wrong. That's why. We are restarting. Just pushing it out there, so people don't get confused. Whoever set the lobby up, which is, I'm going to blame Franz. This is all his little master plan to try and get his way. It's not that.
Reference. Don't set me up like that. You know I will.
Yeah, basically safety car was off, damage was on reduced, and red flags were off. So settings were wrong today. So that's why we are restarting.
Harry, how about we do the thing that you often forget to do and check screen chat and see if anybody's messaging?
It is perfect time to do that. And no, there's been no message.
Boo. How many viewers have we got at the moment?
We currently have 9, which isn't our best.
But we appreciate every single one of you.
Yeah. We don't have the Olympic fan club, which is not great.
The Olympic fan club it's like, I would honestly compare them to Monaco Ultras. Elite fan base.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm very excited. I kind of feel like I'm just being teased now, waiting for this race to start. We got a brilliant grid, wet conditions, everything.
I've got some real life racing news. Pepe Marti in the Formula 3 grid has joined the Red Bull Junior team. So pretty cool.
Joins the 75 other drivers in there, including, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if France starts getting called up.
F1 League of South Africa gets Red Bull Academy back in.
Be better than F1 early.
Also in football news, Dean Henderson has joined Crystal Palace.
But he's being passed about plenty, isn't he?
Yeah. Like a spliff with Snotcop's friend group. But we'll ignore that. Also, fun fact, Arsenal are now unbeaten in the Champions League for more than 6 years. I'm going to try and get in the lobby soon. I believe Franz has made a lobby. I'm going to join. I'll send you an invite in a second, Fizz.
No problem.
So,
Muchos gracias.
we know we've got wet weather today, and we knew it was from the start, so don't screw it up again to the point where we was all waiting for rain and it came literally on the last lap. We'll actually start with it. Can we have like a full wet into dry wet into race, please?
Let's lower the expectations a bit of it. I'm all for reaching high, but
Just a race like Zandvoort in real life would be class. So we all know who was on the podium in Zandvoort.
from a message sent by friends as well, it was apparently forecast to be a dry race.
Yeah, but it starts on the wets. We started on the inters.
That's what I'm saying. I think for the drivers, they all believed they were going to have a dry race.
Yeah, but we saw the weather, so put the weather on.
I think kind of the storylines to be watching for this race is the GSR Wies has raced in 3 races all around the place, hasn't he? Started at Alpha Tauri and got them their best finish of the season in a P2 at Spain, I would like to say. No, Spain was Ben Martin de Bruyne, an absolute masterclass.
Yeah.
But we so far has completed every single position on the podium with a P3, a P2, and a P1. Harry, we need to choose spectator, or
I
just me
have.
needs
You've
to
got
choose
to.
spectator. Me needs to choose spectator.
Yeah.
Take a camera on my car, I'll just follow everyone around.
Well, in this little intermission, it's the perfect time for me to get my coughs out of the way so I don't cough as much in the race. So I'm going to mute.
I absolutely love being left for myself. I'm having a little rave with my
I'm back.
cats to the F1 loading screen music.
So I feel like this is the perfect time to ask Fizz and the chat who is going to win here in Belgium.
Do you know what? I'm not going to say Trey because I refuse to commentator's curse this. Do you know what? Commentator's curse, Franz to win, Wheeze for P2.
And Afrodox P3, yeah?
Afrodox P3, forgot to say that one.
Kusky Boo saying Fizz Bungle is mid. Like,
I'm getting the views up. It's not going very well for me though.
did you put the link in HRA?
Not in HR. I sent it in a little group chat I am in where everything said in there is perfectly legal.
I feel like I need to be part of that group chat.
Harry, how many races have you finished in HRA this season?
Approximately 0.
Approximately, we're not sure.
Hey, I finished the sprint race in Portugal. So 1.
Which he will never let me forget. He outqualified before without
Yeah,
setting a single lap.
exactly. That's why I'm the best driver here.
He's so good he can join a session with 30 seconds to go and still start ahead of me.
I'm so good that in the race to commentators race last season, I got pole by half a second, went on to finish P2
I cannot wait to whoop
after
you in
leading
that.
70 laps.
You just hit Harry Batcher bottle jobs is a cultural thing.
Yeah, I'm fully aware.
I'm going to go to the toilet before we actually get started, though. So I will be back. And I have no clue how to mute this mic, so if you hear my cat, not my problem.
So we've now got 14 viewers. Thank you for watching. I'd keep watching if I were you, because we've had a dull race in F1 League of South Africa for the league standards, but for real life standards, we've never had a dull race. So, if you want your little entertainment fix for a Thursday evening, to keep watching. We've got an unlikely pole sitter in Trey, so this could be one of the best races of the season. And we're going to have some wet weather as well.
And I am back,
I've made
Keller
enemies.
Bartram. You've made enemies.
Yeah, Lenny and Melts want me to shut up.
And I agree with Lenny and Melts. Come on, lads. How have you provoked them then, Harry?
I said make it light rain, dry, light rain, because that's what it was on the weather radar.
In my opinion, we should listen to Melts. You got to listen to your fans.
They're probably sick of my voice right now. I am sick, so we don't even have ponchos. That's great. Anyway, we're now going to be back underway for some racing. So this will hopefully be one of the races of the season. But will anything beat that Austria race? I don't think it will. So that Austria race was perfect.
What about that Spain race?
I think the Austria race was clear.
For me, Spain was perfect. 3 wide into turn 1 between 2 championship contenders. France. We don't talk about what France did in the last lap.
For championship
Wow.
permutations, that race was class. But for the craziness that happened at the end of Austria, that one is the best race for me. Fights for the win and for P3 going into the final sector. Inject it into my veins. Can we have it again here? Side by side through Blanchimont to win the race. That would be perfect. And then someone
I
makes
don't
a
think it
dodgy
ends
lunge
well
and
though.
takes them
But
both dodgy lunge into the stop. Now, are they starting on
could be wrong.
inters? Yes, they are. So
Could be wrong.
remember
But
your
the rain
setups,
does look a
guys.
little bit worse.
It does, but I'm all for it.
Do we know what the weather is set to for this then?
I think it's light rain to dry. I think that's just all it is. Welcome to the stream, George Plaster. Rain cooking. Rain usually makes the food colder, so I don't think it would be cooking it. But
Jesus Christ. Hey, sous vide.
yeah, true.
Sous vide steak is lovely.
Yeah, but George, stick around. This should be a very entertaining race. So put your predictions into the chat. Who's going to win this race? And as I'll show you the grid. Trey put it on poll. It was a bit of an unlikely poll, but it was a very good poll in the end. Franz down in 9th is a bit of a shocker, but our championship leader has won races from 9th before. Surely he can do it again. At least I'll put the commentator's curse on Franz today. And we should be getting underway very shortly. And in the meantime, I'm gonna get myself a drink.
Oh, cheers, Harry. Well, we should be due a very exciting race today as the rain pours down in Spa. And unlike 2021, we are actually going to go racing. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much and the FIA have any excuse to pull out the blankets and put their feet up. But apart from that, we should have a great race. Thank you for everyone watching today. It's very awkward being left by yourself. I'm waiting for someone else to fill the silence, but it never gets filled. Unlike Harry, he isn't actually streaming, so he can't see the chat.
Drink has been poured, and I can see the chat. George, I think you're misunderstanding how good this league is. The 4 people at least are going to centre 1 is not what is going to happen, I don't think. I can't even read that, Ellis. So I don't know what you've put, it's come up with the purple stars, so... How's Portugal, Ellis? We should be underway very shortly for what is gonna be, hopefully, a great race. Currently sipping cocktails. Drinking cocktails and watching the F1 League of South Africa Tier 1 race, so I can't think of a better combination. Now, the crucial thing is, we think it's going to get dry towards the end, so the crossover point is going to be crucial.
I've said nothing negative to any of our viewers, I swear.
Well,
Cooksey is a brilliant friend of mine, and I have never said anything negative. Play this video when I get arrested. Oh, and we will get going.
To 5 red lights, and we've got a good camera angle for the start. And it's lights out, and away we go. And what is happening?
Good start for Afrodox from the outside of Trey.
Down the inside goes Trey. He's going to hold on to the lead into turn 1. Well, I have no idea what's happening with my point of view, because we've got no audio. So this is very fun. But Trey leads, and I don't currently have anything out. What is going on with my game?
Melts has picked up a penalty, and he has dropped a couple of positions off the start as GSRW gets past Elo Wired. As Elo Wired just gets a bit squirmy out of Eau Rouge. Everything staying mostly same. Afrodox closing, doesn't go for it on Trey. As Fran already makes his way up behind his teammate into P7. Didn't take him long.
And round.
Stockcott goes off track, rejoins, hits the barrier, takes out the Red Bull. Both of them spin. Big damage for Snotcop.
I apologise, couldn't really see any of that because my controller disconnected and I've got no audio. But, I have no idea what's happening. Oh, we're back! I've actually got everything. There we go.
Well done, so Francis is already up into 5th place.
So Trey still leads ahead of Afrodox. Then GSR Wheeze, then Cheddar. Then Franz, Elo Wide. I am sorry for not catching any of that. I know it's my job. But it's a 1-3 for Alfa Romeo right now, and that is going to be crucial for them.
I mean, Fran's getting the job done nice and quickly. We's not losing any places. Give us an Alfa Romeo 1-3.
Yeah, no flags. That is at Stavolo. That is Boom Roker going slowly. And ahead of him, we got TJ going very slowly as well, who's powered up. Well, he kind of powered up there. So I don't know what TJ's doing. Snotcop and Lenny are obviously involved in that collision. But Trey ahead of Afrodox and GSR Wheeze. Then you got Franz, Elo Wide in the top 5. But Elo Wide's going to think about a move down the inside of his one of his friends, Franz. Elo Wide, is he going to get the better of him? Yes, he is. Elo Wide up into 4th.
What a move by Elo Wide. Franz just got off very shaky after breaking a little bit deep.
Yep, so Boom Roker losing places as Meltz has jumped in from the pits. And as I'm looking at the chat, Ellis wondering to see what the Friday Night Football is. It is Luton versus West Ham, and it's on Sky Sports. And Night Scout is dead, you are correct. So. Oh, there's a bit of a lock up there for GSR Wheeze as Afrodox slid through that corner. As into no name, Trey is holding on pretty well, so it's going to be GSR Wheeze who will most likely be making the move on Afrodox before Afrodox makes the move on Trey.
I mean, the difficult part of this isn't necessarily holding on, it's trying to get the move done. Afrodox can happily sit 5 tenths behind in this entire race, but actually trying to get past is going to take a lot of battery or a lot of balls.
And what one does GSR Wheeze have? He's got the battery. Does he have the balls? One person who's got the most battery though is Afrodox, who hasn't used a single percent of it. So I say that he now uses it. So
he knows he needs to be patient, and he might be trying to eye up a move into the chicane, but he's not going to be close enough.
The breaking point here is quite awkward in the wet, as we found out earlier. Fizz.
And Trey has not got the car stopped very well. Trey's going to get switched back.
No,
He's going into the back of him.
There's a little bit of a Constantina effect between Afrodox and GSR Weeze there. And that will just allow Elo Wired to gain back and Franz to gain a bit back. So there are tricky conditions out there. Now when it dries out, who knows? But Afrodox is going to have to hold on to GSR Weeze, who's must have been a little bit of track limits, but GSR Weeze is going to have a little bit of a run on the Williams car of Afrodox, who's taken the docs off his name because he didn't want to dox himself, and GSR Weeze is going to have to hold on for the time being.
It was a good attempt there, Harry, but Dope was better than the Queen.
Jesus.
She saw her. Right, moving on.
TJ getting ahead of Lenny because Lenny's into the pits. Meltzer's also into the pits for the second time this race. They're having a great time of things out there. And Venom Terror is back in the session. So Afrodox has got a bit of a train now. As Trey has got the 1 second gap, but does Afrodox have any damage? Because he did hit the back of Trey. Oh, but backwards. GSR Weeze is going to try, might have to concede a position to Afrodox, not Afrodox, Elo Wide. As Elo Wide is back up to the podium places. And now all the while, this is going to help his teammate holding up these cars. Franz is going to try and make a move through Stavolo. Can't quite do it. Now, on the run down to Blanchimont, can Franz think about a move? But Cheddar is also in this fight. So second to sixth, covered by about 2 seconds. And this is what we see every week here in this league. Thinks about it. Cheddar. Into the pits comes GSR Weeze, who must have damage on that Alfa Romeo car, because he was going very slow from what we're used to seeing.
He just could not get the car stopped at any corner. It was an absolute fight for him just to keep it on the track.
We're going to follow his pit stop just to see whether he did have damage. He did have damage, you know. So GSR Weeze's race has now been compromised. And now we're going to hopefully see a recovery drive from him in this race. That's an unscheduled pit stop because a lot of these will be trying to go into the drives. As it is starting to dry out, it looks like. Shout out to Cheddar, by the way. 5th place, and he's staying with the front runners. Big T and Forey going at it for 6th place. Big T holds on.
Battle now to look at. The battle now to look at is Big T and Forey, really.
Yeah, Big T and Forey has had a bit of a coughing fit.
Oh, it's getting very close between the two of them.
And we start to see who's comfortable in the wet weather. As Big T was saying, he wanted some rain to come in these races, to go qualifying in the race, and he did get his wish, and he's running in 6th, and that's a very impressive 6th for Big T right now. Forey being stuck behind him is not what he needed after what was a qualifying which could have gone his way, but he just at the end didn't go his way. So Forey wanted to go up the grid where he usually is in the top 5. But Franz is getting closer to Elo Wired, and this could happen through Blanchimont because Franz has got the run, but more ERS being used on Elo Wired's car, who's out of it. So Franz is going to think about it on the run down to the bus stop chicane. Is Franz going to make a lunge? No, he's not. He's going to think better of it. And he waited for the late break-in, but here goes Franz round the outside. Through the final corner, can Franz get the run? He's going to have to slipstream from the back of the Williams of Afrodox. His championship rival, this is. Franz going side by side with Elo Wired, and he's going to try and get past, and he's now up to 3rd place. Cheddar, meanwhile, getting a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, and as Franz gets ahead of Elo Wired, now Franz can set his sights after his championship rival, Afrodox. Oh, Franz! Franz has gone, and there's no front wing on that car.
Absolute miracle to still be in the race.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here as well.
Due to the crash.
He's got to be very careful. And he's done okay there. But that's really that's a mistake that we've seen from France a few times this season. But it came at the worst time here because with the weather like this, an unscheduled pit stop will kill his race.
I mean, after a few shocks thrown in the mix last weekend, to kind of push the championship back into the favour of France, he's almost just thrown it away here after making a great drive so far to make it into the position he was in.
We've seen France throw it away a lot last season, and the mistakes start to creep back through for the McLaren driver. As last season, France did, in the end, lose the championship to, Boomroker with a drive-through after speeding under virtual safety car, and off. We do have a Snopcot round Radion. He's got to be careful to get.
Robert spun.
But Quagga's gone. He has. That was a Huon. So they're tricky conditions out here. So keeping it on the track is everyone's main priority right now, and Trey's going to be loving life. He's got a 1.3 second gap over Aphrodite.
France definitely would have wanted that VSC just to last a bit longer.
Yeah, of course.
But Wheeze might even overtake him before they come in.
Yeah. Now, this puts a big change in this race, because Wheeze also picked up some front wing damage, but he didn't have as violent as a spin as Brads did. But Wheeze is locking up everywhere.
I do not think his setup is built for these conditions. He's possibly pandering to the dry.
Meltz gets a time penalty. Meltz, we thought, could have had pole in qualifying, but it's coming away from him in the race. And Big T is closing in. Oh, that was a wobble there for Big T. Aphrodite has closed the gap down to under a second. So we could see Aphrodite go for a move in the coming laps. And Aphrodite needs a good result if he wants to take the lead of the championship back from France.
Well, you say that right as Trey opens that gap up right away to over a second. Trey's got some real pace. He's definitely in contention to win this race.
This is the best we've seen Trey so far this season, it has to be said. Also, you got the podium in Austria.
I'm all for it.
You got the podium in Austria, of course. That was a sensational drive. He did something very similar to Quagga Roberts. He's rained down in 10th today, but he's usually up in the top 3. But that's what wet weather can do. It throws up the unlikely. And Trey, at the moment, is looking on course to have a great result. As yellow flags, and that is France.
Out.
And that's a safety car. So France going out. And that was at the Com chicane.
Oh my god, that is not what France would have wanted today.
So instead of maybe recovering to get a handful of points, he's now going to get 0 points. But crucially, it stopped raining, Fizz.
Right as the safety car comes out, you've got to see if people risk it. Trey has to risk it. We know he's got the pace in the wets, but has he got the pace to keep up with this in the dries?
He's going to be the one to make the call.
And he doesn't.
Stay out. Aphrodite makes the call. So Aphrodite, Elo wide, Cheddar, Bori, it's Big T. Trey here has been hung out to dry. And that is not the timing. He needed it. So Trey is going to fall towards the back here now. Venom Terror, though, is going to stay out as well. Welcome to the race, Venom Terror.
Still look very grey, though. It could be a situation where Trey's considered that the track might not dry straight away, or the rain could come in time.
This helps the likes of Cheddar, Aphrodite. Did Cheddar jump Aphrodite in the pits?
Cheddar did jump Aphrodite, and so did Elo Wired.
Wow! This changes the complexity of this race. I reckon Aphrodite, from that incident on about lap 3, where there was a bit of Constantina effect between Trey, Aphrodite, and and GSR Wheeze, where they must have got wing damage and he fixed his front wing there. If that's the case, then Aphrodite had some lightning pace. And look out for him towards the end of this race. He's got some work to do. He's got to get past Cheddar and Elo wide now. And I think Venom Terror will play the team game for Haas because he stayed out. You're now joining us. We are on lap 7 of F1 League South Africa Tier 1 race around Belgium. And so far in this race, Night Scout had a DNF on lap 1. Franz brought out this safety car after crashing at the Lecom chicane. And our championship leader is out and will score 0 points today. And now all signs show that Afrodox could maybe take the championship lead today if things go his way. And so far they have.
We keep the popcorn nearby. Jesus, this has been a everything race. We've had wet conditions. Now we're going to get dry conditions. We've had overtake. The only thing we haven't had is an overtake for the lead. And I do not mind that, as we can still see Trey leading, but I do feel if the conditions go the way they're looking, he can't lead for much longer.
It all depends how long this safety car. I think Trey's got to come in here. He's going to lose so many places. And he is going to come in. Trey, he faked it.
If Trey has called this right, because obviously we can't see the weather radar, but if Trey has called this right, that is an immense call.
Yeah. So Elo Wired is what we think is in the net lead in this race.
One person who will have absolutely loved this safety car coming out would have been Wheeze.
Yes.
Gives him a lifeline here.
He's gone to the hards. It's a perfect time to look at the tyre choice. Obviously the only one left on the inters is Trey. Then you got Elo Wide and Cheddar on the mediums, and you got everyone else from Afrodox down to Venom Terror on the hards. Venom Terror stayed out that extra lap, by the way, and still came out only 9th. Then you got Big T and TJ on the mediums, Lenny on the hards, Boomroker on the mediums, and you got Snotcop and Melt on at the back on the mediums and the softs.
I mean, based on what they were running in on qualifying, I think this track is already ready for flicks.
Yeah. Easily.
So, unless there is rain right around the corner, Trey's going to drop like a brick.
Exactly.
Last time at Britain was the first time this season we did not have the podium sitter. And if I'm wrong, apart from Trey, nobody here has been a podium sitter, unless Elo Wide has.
Cheddar hasn't. I think Elo Wide has. I will double check.
Yes, he had 2 actually.
Wow.
Sorry, Elo. Trey obviously picked up his one at Austria, but Cheddar has not yet had a podium. After a really strong race at Austria, actually.
Yeah, so only Aston Martin and Haas are yet to score a podium. The only Aston Martin driver is out, and both Haas cars are in the top 10. Venom Terror momentarily running in 2nd. Cheddar is currently running in 3rd on the track, but that could easily change with this 3-second time penalty. It could be a great day for Haas. It could also be a great day for Alfa Romeo. But Trey, only one on the inters, and it looks bone dry.
It does. Well, I don't know how your bones look, but it's definitely not bone dry. But it is definitely ready for softs.
Yeah. It's time for slicks anyway, that's what I meant, but... So... I'm interested to see if anyone in the stream is keeping count. How many times Meltz has been in the pits? He's been in the pits a lot. Well, we can check. He has had 4 stops, and we're on lap 9, so Meltz is not having a great day. It's time to see the position change. Wide up 3, Aphrodux down 2, Fori down 1, Andre up 6. Well done, Andre. Good drive so far. Venom Terror up 1, Big T and TJ up 5. Lenny up 2, Boomerang up 4, Sock Cop down 3, and Meltz down 9. Not a day to be a fan of Meltz, as we said.
Yeah, after it was such a promising session in qualifying for him. I mean, possibly the session restarted, just built up the nerves, took a bit of punch out of him, but nonetheless, it has to be said he has not done brilliantly so far. As I feel, although Trey has done, he is going to drop behind Meltz very quickly. As now, lap. Harry. Yeah, the safety car is in this lap, as now the track is.
Now it is
actually bone dry.
Well, I don't usually see my bones apart from my teeth, so in the mirror. So
there's a joke there, and I'm not going to make it.
So, I mean, basically, I'm saying me knowing whether a track is bone dry or not is a weird thing. Anyway, the safety car is in this lap, and Trey is the only one on the inters, and I have a feeling he's going to get swallowed. I'm not going to make a joke because it's just very inappropriate, but Trey will fall down the order like. I'm not going to make that joke either. Because
let's just leave it be, Harry.
Yeah. Anyway, we're back underway. Now Trey is gone. Now Willie Box. No, you won't.
No.
So Trey's hold this out. Cheddar got a very good restart. He got a very good exit of the final corner. So we might be able to see Cheddar make a move on Elo wide. He thinks about it. Trey is holding on for the time being, but the traction on the Mercedes is significantly better. And you said we didn't have a change from the lead. We're going to have one now, though, aren't we, Fizz? Because Elo wide is now into the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. Trey is into second. And then you got Cheddar in third. I have a very big feeling that Trey is going to fall down the order pretty quickly.
Well, Cheddar is going to want to absolutely send it into this corner, and he is still behind. Whoever gets stuck behind Trey going into this twisty section is going to really struggle as Aphrodux makes light contact with Trey.
Yeah,
if Trey spins it, Trey's lost it.
Trey's into the gravel on the exit of the Lacombe chicane, and Trey's race, who started on pole, he made the wrong call, and he's now going to be towards the very back of the grid. And that is not what he wanted. He could have won this race if he made the right call. But Elo wide leads ahead of Cheddar, then Aphrodux, then Wheeze, and Fori. Wheeze has got himself back into fourth, by the way. Well done. Like, the safety car has saved him a bit. Andre going for one of his best races in this league as well. He's holding up Venom Terror pretty nicely.
Well, I think the play from now here has to be from Afro and Wheeze to just work with each other. Don't go for anything too risky. Keep those tyres nice. And as long as we don't see any more rain during those last 5 to 6 laps, the tyre advantage should fall.
Here we go. We can see a change for the lead here. Cheddar's all over the back of Elo wide. And he's going to try and make the move here, maybe into the bus stop chicane. Cheddar, he hasn't led a race so far in the F1 League of South Africa. He doesn't for the time being. But he's going to wait for the opportunity. He's got some blistering pace today, has Cheddar.
Their battling keeps Afro very close.
Terror going at it for 6th place. Andre holding on for the time being. That will invite Quagga Roberts, who we know who usually has pace. He's fighting down in the middle of the points.
Quagga Roberts goes down the inside into the corner. Moved uncleanly.
Quagga Roberts.
TJ now just backs out.
I'm going to see some side-by-side action at Peau Rouge. No, but not. There's 5 cars here, separated by about a blanket's width. As side-by-side ahead, Venom Terror is going to try and get the slipstream on Andre as Quagga Roberts falls to the left. Now, Venom Terror is going to try and follow him through here for 7th place. And he does, but he's broke a little bit too late. Andre is going to try and hold this round the outside. But he's got to put up with Big T. He's going to squeeze him out. And Andre has lost about 3 places in the space.
Quagga Roberts has said thank you very much.
Oh, spin there for Big T. And Andre's been caught up in that as well. And that has happened I don't know what corner that is, but there's yellow flags out, and that is not what Andre wanted. And Dan, I know my hairline is clapped. You don't need to put that in the chat now. But Elo wired out front, and he's got Cheddar behind, but Cheddar's got some brilliant pace on that Haas.
DRS soon to be enabled. The order of this top 5 is going to be thrown wide open, as everybody in the top 5 is still within DRS of each other.
Yeah, it's very, very close.
But when isn't it in this league?
No, it's the point of the race where you literally don't know who's going to win. Because anyone out of this top 5 could. Even Quagga Roberts, if he gets a move on, could join this. And into the pits is TJ. So Cheddar's got to get a move on, because this 3 seconds is going to haunt him for the rest of this race. What can the Haas driver do?
The light shines upon the track as Wheeze is going to go down the inside of Aphrodite.
Here we go then. GSR Wheeze has been one of the stars of this league in recent weeks. He's going to try and make a move on our one of our championship protagonists. And GSR Wheeze is going to say, hello, I am in this championship fight as well. And GSR Wheeze is up into the podium places. Oh,
And
there's
the
contact!
Aphrodite breaks too late and makes contact.
Oh, the
Before
three
he
of
caught
them.
up in it, Afro's caught up in it.
Whoa!
Quagga Roberts says thank you into the podium places.
Yeah, there was a lot of incidents there. And that is, I've got to say, all on Aphrodox for the bit that happened afterwards.
Yeah.
He just reversed into the back of Quagga Roberts. And it almost offset his car, so he got really lucky there, Quagga Roberts. GSR Wheeze did get away with it as well. But he might have got damaged, but I think he caused the initial part of the incident. But Venom Terror, this race suddenly has looked very good for Haas. For a team who has had a podium this season, looking like they could maybe potentially have two cars fighting
Cheddar and
for it.
Elo are home free. Yeah, Cheddar and Elo are home free. We were saying Cheddar has to get a move on because of that penalty. Everybody else said, there you go, mate. That gap has been given to him, and they could get another 2 if they wanted. It's just Cheddar and Elo just need to work together now.
Yeah.
They know their job. They're on the much worse combat attire for holding on. And they are going to be struggling towards the end of this race. So they just need to work together. No funny business.
Big T's going to line
Fast
up
as
a
they
move here on Venom Terror. Big T's going to try and fight for the top 5 places today. Venom Terror as well. Don't think any of them thought they'd be fighting in the top 5 today, but now they are. Big T is going to try and go round the outside at turn. Well, that was a brilliant move from Big T in the Alpine, who had poor qualifying. Him and Boom Roko were 15th and 17th, I believe, and now 5th and 14th, but...
As he picks up a penalty, just for good measure, and gets overtaken by Venom Terror again. Commentator's curse at its finest.
Yeah, I'm interested in Aphrodox, what damage he's got, because he's got a 5-second penalty now, and I don't think you can dispute that.
I think there's a penalty for the initial contact with Wheeze, and there's a penalty for the reversing back onto the track, which is, in all fairness, I do not mean to be rude to him, but it was a bit of desperation, I think, just trying to hold on to what he's got. With Franz out of this race, he is absolutely thrown away. Just a really good point-scoring finish.
Music to Franz's ears. If you're watching this stream, Franz, I bet you're silently celebrating in the corner after your... Well, it's not gone your way today, has it? Let's be honest. Well, either way, you'll watch the stream afterwards, so... We said about Quagga Roberts just finding himself in the podium places.
That was some Lightning McQueen-esque shit.
30 seconds before it all went down, and now he's got to be fighting GSR Wheeze for the podium places, and Venom Terror's not far off these lot.
Hopefully Wheeze can, as much as I love you, Quagga, I do hope Wheeze can get his podium back in all of this, because of the DRS, Quagga and Wheeze just can't keep up with Elo and Cheddar, and as I did say before, the sun was shining down on him. The sun has gone away again.
Aphrodox getting... Oh, he's really fighting here, Aphrodox. He wants to claw back what he lost, and he's now to 5th place. That was a good move from Aphrodox, and that's what he wanted to show, I think. TJ getting the fastest lap.
TJ gets the fastest lap on the board.
Oh, they're 3 wide. They're nearly 3 wide going into Lake On. And that is Big T ahead of Venom Terror, ahead of Aphrodite. So Aphrodite has lost 2 places there after Eau Rouge.
God, what an intro. This is not the battle he wants to be in, but it's the battle he's got to put up with. It's the battle he created, basically.
Yeah. You got to feel for Fori in all this, because he had to box. That's just ruined him. Who else got caught up in that? It was Melts, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Was it Melts?
I think so. Or was it Lenny? I think it was Lenny.
Someone got
Fori,
caught up in it.
God knows. There was enough people caught up in that.
Yeah. But if you're Haas today, you'll be looking at this and thinking, Jesus, this is going to be a great result for us. Not a podium in the season so far. This would leave Aston Martin, as it stands, as the only team without a podium. And Cheddar is looking on course to maybe take this, and if he pressures Elo wide enough to get a penalty, he could still be able to fight for the race win, as Aphrodite gets ahead of Venom Terror. Is that because Venom Terror comes into the pits? Same with Melt.
We just
Now,
gotta
why
watch
are they
and see
into
if
the
the tyre
pits?
fall off is too severe here.
So for Melt, it's changing off the softs to the mediums. Now, what about Venom Terror's got changes front wing? As Aphrodite's been involved in another incident, that'd be unfortunate. As GSR Weeze gets ahead of Quagga Robert, but off the road goes GSR Weeze, and he rejoins ahead of Quagga Roberts. And I imagine he has to give that position back. But we'll soon
His
find
car
out.
just always looks so shaky, Weeze. If the gap is 11 seconds, it'd take a killer drive to close that.
Yeah, it would. Cheddar is getting really close to the back of Yellow Wide. Now we're gonna get, I think, a new winner of this season, no matter what happens here. Unless they take each other out.
Finally a bit of peace in this race, really.
Yeah,
We've had more than enough.
gives me a chance to relax my voice. So, in all this, Snotcop is found himself up to 8th. So, well, Snotcop.
After a spin on the opening lap, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but he's into the
And
pits.
as you say, this stock got pits. Commentator's curse yet again.
I can't keep getting away with this.
Don't say anything about Cheddar anymore, okay?
But he's
Cheddar got
closing in.
very, very, very close to going for something on Weeze there. Not Weeze, sorry, Wired.
Yeah. Trades recovered into the top 10. After a poor stretch, he killed Quagga Roberts, getting back past GSR Weeze. And I have a feeling this is going to be an ongoing battle for the final place on the podium. And I feel like both drivers do deserve it. Well, I think Weeze more than Quagga Roberts. But it's been a great drive from both of them. And Quagga Roberts has just found himself in these positions time and time again. And it's not an accident that he's finding himself in this position. Maybe it is today, but
I mean, the one thing about this is it's the battle for 1-2 in most points per race. As Weeze, since joining the league, has averaged 26 points per race.
yeah.
Obviously with different point system in this league, with them going down to 15th to motivate drivers to finish. But, for the sake of making him look a bit better, that's better than Max Verstappen.
Yeah. Quagga Roberts and GSR Weeze should be in the Red Bull next season in real life, and I'm here and I'm all for it. Is it me, Fizz, or has it got a lot darker?
I mean, I'd say we could add Weeze to the list of second drivers who didn't do it at Red Bull.
I mean, you got 2 races at AlphaTauri, didn't you? So. Yeah, but Fizz, is it me, or is
in
it,
a Red Bull.
or is it getting darker?
racist, but I believe it is.
You reckon that is why we've seen Snotcop go to the softs to be on the better tyre for the crossover? Are we going to get some more
I
rain?
think he's just probably lost his front wing, to be honest. I think at the best case scenario is
Here we go
may
then.
see
GSR
some.
Weeze is in the slipstream of Quagga Roberts, and GSR Weeze is going to pull over and take the place away from Quagga Roberts on the podium. And GSR Weeze has recovered well after that incident involving Thori and Afrodox. And he is now up into third place. And he probably feels like he could have had a lot more. And in the meantime, Elo Wired has got a 1.2 second gap over Cheddar. And I don't think any of them today would have thought, you know what, a win could be on the cards. GSR Weeze with a penalty though. But I'm sure that will be disputed because I feel like with the incident,
He probably got a
Afrodox,
warning from that incident.
Yeah. But
just quickly, Cheddar has fell out of DRS, so
yeah.
Elo Wide is home free.
You have to say it's been a cracking drive from Elo Wired. He kept it clean on the opening laps. In the pit stops, you know. Before the pit stops, sorry. Before it all kicked off, really. He wasn't involved in the Constantina effect that lost Afrodox a front wing and Weeze a front wing. He's leading this race on merit, but everything happening behind him has just helped him cruise to the race lead. So fair play, but it's looking really dark out there.
I'm not going to say it twice, but I'm very tempted to.
That'd just be cruel.
You accused me of being Kurt Zuma earlier for throwing my cat, so I don't want to hear you got anything about cruelty.
Alright, so I'm looking at what's happening on track. I've also looked at the race results from this season so far. Elo Wide is on course right now, this second, to take his first race win of the season. So Cheddar's looking to take his first podium. So happy days for everyone. Unless Quagga Robert goes and wins, which he hasn't had a win yet, but he's had a podium. So we've still got a lot to play for. Lenny's found himself up to 7th after a poor start to the season, it has to be said, for Lenny. He had some great pace last game, but he's just not found it this game. It reminds me of someone I know. Myself.
Just quickly, I think Weeze's heart rate has begun to increase as a certain man is approaching.
Yeah, Afrodox. He'll fall out of the podium places anyway, I think. Even if he gets up there on track, I think he will fall away because of penalties.
Does not mean he can't have a say in this, though, on track.
Exactly. So Afrodox, he's trying to make amends after an incident that, from our point of view, looked completely his fault. Whatever happened at the start, whatever happened at the end of it, we know the end of it was his fault because he reversed into the path of GSR Weeze and Quagga Roberts, and that influenced their races quite a lot because it meant that, you know, Wide and Cheddar could run home free.
It does mean Cheddar is going to get a P2, which we just love to see.
Yeah, cracking drive from Cheddar as well. Like we've said it. He's had some great pace, but he's not been able to find his way onto the podium yet this season. It's the perfect opportunity for him to do it today.
Although Elo has found his way onto the podium, he has never found his way onto the top spot.
There's so many cars covered by. I just saw the mini map, not the mini map. The leaderboard go a bit crazy as Trey, Venom Terror, and Snotcop were all fighting over 11th place, and Snotcop got a double overtake and all that. So well in Snotcop.
This is a bit like real life Spa, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got the Alfa Romeos giving us the entertainment at the back. Although we would have really liked to see you up at the front today, Trey, but
It's not gone his way. But I have to say,
It has
unfortunately,
not.
Trey, that it was your fault. You made the wrong call.
It's a tough call for anyone to make, and Trey hasn't got massive amounts of experience being in that position anyway, so
He's a
you
race
can't
winner in this
accept
league,
to
of
make a
course.
flawless.
Not this season, but he has had race wins. He won at Baku last season. So he's a steady hand. He's got steady hands on the cockpit. More so than me, anyway.
I think anybody could have more steady hands than you. Someone with PTSD would have more steady hands than you.
I don't know how I feel about that one. Anyway, Quagga Roberts still holding in for third, but Afrodox and GSR Wees are chasing him down at a rate of knock. I know it's very early to be thinking about driver of the day, but who are the contenders? I think it's Elo Wyatt has got to be the only one up there, really. Him and Cheddar drove brilliantly. But Elo Wyatt...
Elo, Cheddar, Quagga, to be honest, has had put up a really good drive as well.
Well, he's had nothing compared to his Austria drive, but I think Elo Wyatt has got to be... For me, it's so far it's Elo Wyatt, but we've still got another 2.5 laps to go.
You never know in this league how this race is going to end, but if it for once goes as we expect and Elo wins this race, I don't see a way you could not give him driver of the day.
Exactly. Ched had a bit of a snap there through the final corner. But, Quagga Roberts. Look, you'd hate to be Quagga Roberts in this situation. There's contact between him and GSR Wees. GSR Wees broke a little bit too late, but he's all over the...
How is the front wing of GSR Wees is now the question.
Yeah, exactly. He's really struggling out there as Wees, and I have a feeling that Afrodox is going to try and get past him again. Last time that he tried that, well, let me put it this way, Big T was up into fourth.
I think we're going to see a very similar move as well. Both drivers are going to have DRS. Afro possibly suspecting the front wing damage is going to want to get the move done.
Quagga Roberts just sitting tight and doing everything he can, really, Quagga Roberts, to hold on to this position on track. And if he does, that's a very excellent race.
I think Weeze's front wing is intact. Yeah, Weeze's front wing is intact somehow.
Meanwhile, Forey getting up into 8th place, he gets ahead of TJ. And TJ is going to try and defend from Meltzer now, who's found himself into the top 10 again. So, final couple of laps then. And it's the same three that we were talking about at the start of the race. Quagga Roberts, GSR Wees and Afrodox, all fighting over the final place on the podium.
I don't know how it got to this. I mean, it's just such a hectic race. We've had Franz crashing, then crashing again, but this time actually out of the race. Trey, so unlucky with the strategy
call.
call.
You off there. Here we go. Afrodox are going to try and think about it around the outside of the bus stop chicane. He breaks really late and he loses it. Wow, that's very optimistic there from Wees. Not Wees, Afrodox. But Wees will try and get him back, and I think Afrodox was way out of control of his car right then. But somehow he made it pay off.
I think Afrodox was just very lucky.
Yeah.
Quagga Roberts was there.
GSR Wees. They're not going to go side by side through Eau Rouge, are they? Oh,
no, they're not.
No, they're not.
Afrodox.
That is appalling. That is one of the worst incidents I've seen in this league. And Afrodox is the only one to blame there.
I do not believe that was intentional for any second, but it was a horrible, horrible crash, and that just shouldn't be happening in this league.
No, GSR Wees is going to lose a massive amount of points today because of Afrodox. It's not one of Afrodox's finest races.
No, not by any means.
But hopefully, one thing that doesn't take away from is the drive of the man out front. What a race for Elo Wyatt, who is now coming through Stavolo. Afrodox with another penalty to put salt in the wounds. He'll
Yeah,
drop
plenty
behind
more
Big
of them to
T.
come.
Big T is going to finish 4th. But Elo Wyatt, through the final sector then, the Mercedes driver who's not had the best of pace compared to his usual pace from previous games. F1 2021, he had very good pace at the end. F1 2022, he was brilliant. He was fighting for race wins every single race. He hadn't had a win up until this point, but through the final corner, it's going to be Elo Wyatt who's going to take the victory here in Spa. Cheddar will take a brilliant P2 and starts, and he'll be delighted with that. It's a first podium this season for Haas. Quagga Roberts has avoided all the chaos. He will finish up in 3rd. Afrodox, it has to be said, was involved in all the chaos, and he will be lucky if he finishes 4th. Big T across the line. I think his little bit of weaving has just cost him 4th place, but I'm pretty sure Afrodox will get a post-race penalty. Lenny 6th, 47th. TJ in 8th, then Melts and Venom Terror. Venom Terror getting ahead of Melts because the penalties. Snot Cop in 11th, Trey 12th. He could have won this race, but it's just come away from him. Andre in 13th, and then Boomroker, who's been smoking too many trees in the Ardennes Forest, and he is 14th.
And Trey has crashed before or after the line.
We'll find out, eh?
I think afterwards. You'd hope so anyway.
Wyatt is our winner. Anyway, Cheddar, well, he'll be delighted. That's Haas's first podium of the season. That leaves only one constructor without one, and that is Aston Martin, who had one drive today, and he finished in 17th. But Elo Wyatt is your winner, Cheddar in 2nd, and Quagga Roberts getting another podium in 3rd. But the story of the day is Franz. Well, there's a couple stories. Franz retiring, not getting any points today. But Afrodox, he was involved in 3 major incidents today, and that is not ideal. Big T gets the driver of the day from the game, but for us, the driver of the day is Elo Wyatt.
No doubt in my mind.
Whereas arguments for Cheddar, but Elo Wyatt was inevitably the race winner today, and we get to see the Ferrari overalls on the new Ferrari overalls on the podium today. So Quagga Roberts should be in the contention for driver of the day just for that. So well done to all the podium sitters. Elo Wyatt, that is your first race win of the season, and that was a brilliant drive. Cheddar in 2nd, Quagga Roberts in 3rd. I said that multiple times. Afrodox will probably get maybe even a 10-second penalty for that. Which
I think 10-second penalty.
Yeah.
That's 10-second penalty for that incident alone.
Yeah, and then maybe a 5 added on from the other one.
Well, I think he is probably a 5 for the contact with Wheeze, the 5 for reversing back onto the track, and a 10 for the killing of Wheeze.
So 20 seconds added on to its race time. That would drop him down into P11. No, P10. You still get points.
Still getting points.
There's you gotta feel sorry for Wheeze. Well, I do. We'll catch you next time if I'm not at work. I was supposed to be at work today, but ill. Yay. Which I believe is the Italian Grand Prix. So I'm just going to double check this.
Get to see the Ferrari overalls in all of their brilliance.
It is the Italian Grand Prix next time. And we've got 6 races left. We've got Italy, we've got Japan, we've got Qatar, we've got Vegas, we've got France and Portugal. I kind of wish we put Vegas last, because a finale at Vegas would be chaos.
Vegas is a terrible track. Can't tell me wrong.
I'm sorry, but who likes a finale at Portugal?
Good question, but still better than a finale at Vegas.
Alright, so we'll see you on the 8th of September for... Oh, that's Tier 2. The 7th of September for LSA Tier 1. You might hear me tomorrow for Tier 2. That's still up in the air, but catch you next time. Thank you for joining me in the commentary box, Fizz. I think you've full-time replaced Ellis now, so... Ellis, gets his contributions in here and there. But that was a brilliant race. It's been a long stream, all things considered. But it's a Mercedes. It's Mercedes on the top tip of the podium. It's Elo wired, and I did predict that at the start of the race. So
Quickly,